Hello, this is Claudia de Fuentes from the Sobey School of Business at St. Mary's University. Today we're going to be talking about design thinking, and we are going also to be talking about the main elements of design thinking. This session we're going to be learning about the core tenets of design thinking and also the potential that design thinking has to incentivize and to increase your creative potential. There is a huge amount of work that has been done in design thinking, and some of the main proponents, like for example David Kelley, talks about that creative confidence that every human has. He would say that kids, little children, are born with that innate creativity that sometimes throughout the years that innate creativity is destroyed. Then he talks about how can we regain that innate creativity. So if you have some time, you can search on the internet, Building Your Creative Confidence by David Kelley. But anyway, about innovation and what design thinking can do for innovation, it considers what are also the needs of humans and link those human needs with potential technological solutions or potential innovations. They don't have to be technological, but they also can be organizational solutions or any other type of solution that comes from a human need. So in this class, design thinking is not only concerned or only primarily concerned about what is the look of a product. No, it rather focuses on what problem that is the one that we want to focus. What identifying the problem, but also identifying the source of the problem is the most important thing. That's why when we engage into the process of design thinking, we are going to be identifying and we are going to be engaging with the specific stakeholders to interview them, to understand what do they value, to understand what are their needs. At this point, perhaps we don't know what are those. So design thinking at the end of the day is more of a culture rather than a methodology. Of course, well, it's a methodology because it's going to guide us through the process and the steps that we have to do. And by doing that, it allows us to identify and to manage some, in many cases, some uncertain stages of innovation. And at some point, it's also going to allow us to flare and to engage into creative solutions for a particular problem that we have. Design thinking lies at the intersection of three areas in a Venn diagram, that is of desirability, feasibility, and visibility. Desirability has to do with the human-centered design. And what do humans value? What are their problems? Where do they come from? How can we provide a solution that actually addresses the roots of that problem? Viability in the sense that, yes, it's viable, we have the financial resources to address that particular problem, to create that particular solution, and to bring it to the use for those users that we want to provide the solution to the problem they have. And feasibility means to the fact that it's technically possible to produce a solution, because perhaps we can produce a solution, or we can imagine a solution that requires, I don't know, teleportation, and then that would be impossible to do it now. So at the core of that intersection of the Venn diagram lies the solution of design thinking. Design thinking, it's a process, right, that goes from convergence and divergence stages, as we are going to see during the class. Empathize would be the first stage, and that has to do with understanding human needs, identifying the main users that we want to create for. Define means once we have empathized with them, define the problem that we want to tackle. Then ideation has to do with identifying the most viable solution for them, most feasible solution for them, and something that they really connect with. Prototyping, that's another stage, and that allows us to create a fast prototype, to bring it back to those users and to identify that if that prototype actually meets the criteria that they might have at first hand, and if not, that allows us also to come back and to test it again and to experiment with it. Actually, one of the mottos of design thinking, and my favorite mottos of design thinking, is fail fast to succeed sooner. And actually, design thinking is what it does. It helps you to fail fast to succeed sooner. Thank you.